Well, I don't know whether you know this, but I know this, and I'm going to tell you this. So listen up. It is tomato planting time in the South. I got my plants in from House Tool. This is second or third year I've gotten their plugs, their plants in, and they look amazing. They really look nice. And but my caveat is I've got cold weather coming in about 2 or 3 days. Now it's only going to get down to about 40, but you know how that can get. 40 can turn to 38, and 38 can turn to frost. So what I'm doing, just to make sure, is I'm putting them in one of these Haas trays. This is, I think, the 162 tray, 162 cells tray, and that they fit right in there. So I would imagine that's how they were raised. They do come in packages. Now these are not tomatoes. These are peppers. Come in packages like this, and it takes about 5 days to get here. So they come in just a little bent over, you know, but not much. And certainly when the light hits them, they start stretching toward that light, they're going to straighten up. But let me show you how nice these plants are. I got Shelby, I got Better Boy, Hossinator, and Red Snapper. And the plugs come in a 10 pack. They come in 10 of each of those, so 40 tomato plants in the bundle, what they call the bundle. And then I've got pepper plants that are Hossinator jalapeno. This is the way they come wrapped. And again, they're a little bent over, but I'd be bent over too if I done spent 5 days shipping. Poblano peppers, a banana pepper, and a Hossinator bell pepper. So I put them in this tray here mainly because I've got a water trough underneath that I can put underneath. And secondly, because I'm just not sure about putting them in the garden yet, for 2 reasons. That cold front that I said was coming, and we're under a tornado watch right now, and it is blowing outside. So I don't think it's a good thing to put these out there and let them blow around. I thought about putting them in the back of my old truck and kind of backing it out so it'd get more sun, and I haven't decided. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do because it's only going to be for about 3 or 4 days. But I might just set up my grow lights and get them to perk up, get them to start stretching out, and so they'll be ready to go in earth boxes and in the ground, wherever I decide to put them. But let me show you what they look like. And again, these are the peppers. The tomatoes, I should have showed you the tomatoes because they really look nice. 8 inches, maybe 12 inches tall. And I would say that's a good 12 inches tall, 11 or 12. Just a little crooked, a little bent over, gonna pick up. As soon as they get a little water, a little light, they're gonna crank. Now they come kind of wet. They wet them down pretty good. Come packaged and labeled real well. So let's see what the peppers look like. I know what the tomatoes look like. And from last year, I know the pepper's gonna look good too. And by the way, in the tomato bundle, there's 10 per variety in the bundle, except they didn't give me 10, so I will say that. They gave me 11 of each. So just as usual, Haas is over delivering, so they give you 1 extra. And maybe because of the shipping, they not sure how they're going to ship, how well they're going to ship. They're going to have any problems. I don't think I've ever lost one. Again, 2nd or 3rd year maybe. I don't think I've ever lost one. These peppers look good. Again, they tie them up pretty tight. They're kind of cramped. These may have been raised in the other container, the other Haas tray, because these are a little smaller. The roots are a little smaller on this. The wedge is a little smaller. So I think it was raised in the other 200 or 300 or something like that tray. But they will go in here. I'm just going to have to add on these. I'm just going to have to add a little potting mix to the tray. Now, again, I'm only putting them in the tray. They're ready to go in the ground. Ready to go in the ground. Need to be in the ground. I just can't do it yet with all in my desire to be a little prudent about wind, weather, and cold. I can't put them in the ground yet. So these are going to go in this tray. I'm going to put just a little bit of potting mix in there because they're not quite as tall. The root system is not quite as tall as this bigger tray. This is the bigger Haas tray. I've got one of the other ones and I could get it out, but I don't. I got kind of conserve here because I don't know how big a light spectrum I'm going to have if I put them in the grow lights. So just put it in there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, kind of crunch it up, make sure this is potting mix been sitting around for a year. I'm just going to make sure it's a little finer than this is kind of a coarse potting mix, not a starter potting mix. And we'll just grab one and put it in. I should have shown the tomatoes because the tomatoes were, again, they fit just perfectly down in here. Just stopped them down in there real hard, and they were perfect. So these, I really hate to put them in these pots. I'd like to just plant them just like they are because that's what really needs to be done with these darn things. I just can't do it right now. So we're just going to have to do it this way. And when the cold weather and the storm weather never leaves East Texas, but when the cold weather leaves, then we'll definitely put them in the wherever they go, in the containers, in the ground, wherever they're going to go. And I'm just putting enough around them to seal to make sure that cell is full. And again, I mainly just wanted to show you what they look like, how well they chip, how well they look. But while I'm at it, might as well show you putting them in here because you may have to do the same. If you get them pretty soon and you're getting a little cold spell, maybe you want to not risk the possibility of getting them burnt or getting them blown over or getting them beat up. And that wind right now, whoo, man, it's blowing. So I'm just being cautious. They sell out, I'm pretty sure, every year fairly quickly. So if you're going to get some, I would say hurry. Instead of starting your own seed, this is just a great way to get some good plants where you know where they came from. You know the quality of them. You know the provenance. That's a big old word meaning you know where they came from. And it's not too late to get some. So I would highly encourage you to get some of these plants, no matter what kind. Their pepper variety is what the ones I just named, the Poblano Hausenator jalapeno, which is a big, pretty good size jalapeno. And they've developed it where it's, these are more disease resistant than most. And they're just good. They're really good. And again, that's a 9. That tray is 9 across, and I have 2 left. So we're gonna get 11 of these. 11 of these. Kind of forgot how to add there for me. We're gonna get 11 of these little boogers, and 11. Everything I've had so far is 11. So plan on getting 11 because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna over deliver. And those look good. They're going to stand up a whole lot better than that once they get a little water in them. And again, they didn't ship dry, but they, 4 days on the road, folks. When I'm on the road 4 days, I look like crap, and these don't. So this is the Hausenator jalapeno. Come with the little markers. I will mark that row. And then what I'm doing, because I have extra, because this is a 9 row, and they sent me 11. I've got 2 extra of everything. So I'm just coming in here and putting in some 6-packs, and I'll plant those, give those away, whatever. I'm just trying to consolidate them enough to where I can get them all under one grow light. Now, if you've got the weather in your favor, by all means, plant these the same day you get them, or the next day. You really need to get them out of the packaging and plant them. And then we'll mark that. So what I did was put 9 in each row. Scoop that over. All these are healthy looking plants. All of them are, I don't think I've seen any that aren't 7 or 8 inches tall. Some of them 11 or 12 inches tall. Again, got that little bend in them because they just been packaged away. But really nice tomatoes. They're really good. Tomatoes are great. The peppers look good. They're going to look even better once they get a little water because they're a little dry. And I'm putting dry potting mix in there with them, and that's going to suck whatever water's in there out. So going to have to get them watered pretty quick. So here they are under the grow lights. I really didn't want to put up the grow lights and all that, but it's going to be a dark weekend, very windy, and temps are going down to, they say, 38 now. So I just can't risk them being outside. So under the grow lights, I tell you what, it's going to sound like a commercial for Haas, but these grow lights are so easy. I mean, it took 5 minutes. All I had to do is basically hang them up there, and the rest of it is just their setup. Just a nice setup with just pull strings on them. You flip a little release here, goes up and down so you can move them as your plants grow. Really, a really good system. I've used this for, I don't know, this is probably my 3rd year maybe to use this system. And they look good. They're starting to straighten up a little bit. They certainly need to be out in the sun. But they'll start looking good. I just watered them pretty good. Made sure to that the water was getting under them well. I put something under here so it would kind of tilt this one up. I've got them on a table that is not nearly wide enough for it, and so I'm just trying to be careful that they don't fall over. Now, are these as good as plants you would raise yourself? Well, the fact that they are, except for the fact that they, the 4 days it takes, 4 or 5 days it takes to ship them, that kind of stunts them. Doesn't stun them. That kind of puts a ding in them just a little bit, but they'll straighten up. They will. I mean, if you're a tomato raiser, these things are going to straighten up and you're going to plant them deep anyway. So they're not as good probably as something I would raise myself, but dadgum, they're a whole lot more convenient. And so that's why I keep doing this. It's my 2nd or 3rd years to use their plugs, their tomato sets and pepper sets too. These peppers look good. Now everything is kind of stretching this way to try to get it to light, and these are trying to stretch this way. I had to move them around because they were so bent that way, stretching toward the light. I flipped them around so I don't know. I need to set up 2 lights, I guess, instead of just one. But hopefully in about 2 days they'll be out of here. So I just didn't want to go crazy with my setup because I'm trying to get them out of here. I need them out in the ground, so or in the pots, whatever. Anyway, again, these are probably not as good as you would raise if you have your own greenhouse, grow lights, all that stuff, heating pads, heat mats and things like that. But dadgum, that takes 2 months to do, and it's doctoring them every day and fertilizing and a little bit and watering them and grow lights and moving this and making sure your grow lights are on a timer. And this is so much more convenient. So I do recommend them highly because they're good looking plants. If it's the varieties that you like, again, the tomatoes are Better Boy, Shelby, which is a Roma type tomato. I read up on it, and it is really good in heat situations. So looking forward to that when the heat comes. I'm hoping the Shelby will continue to produce. That's the red snapper, which I love. The Halcinator tomato, which I love. And then the peppers are, and then when I say this is what they offer in the plugs. The Halcinator Bell, the Gold Rush bananas, the Tiburon Poblano pepper, and the Halcinator jalapeno. But all good peppers. Some of them are hotter than others. Obviously, the bell and the banana are not going to be hot. But, they've got these 4 varieties in peppers, these 4 varieties in tomatoes. That's what I'm trying to say. And you better hurry if you want some because they're going to get sold out pretty dadgum quick, I'm sure. So this is what they look like under the grow lights. Hopefully next week I'll show you these little old dudes in earth boxes and stuff like that. And I'm ready to get them in the ground, but I got to get some warmer weather. When they arrived, it was 80 degrees, and now we're getting down in the 30s. So I gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Don't want to go too early. All right. I believe that's it, and we are gone. I'll show you when we start the next phase of this, getting them in the ground.